What inspired you to start this business?
I always wanted to get into business, so I go back when I was 15, 16, I started a stationery business in school to provide stationery to schools, various schools in Jaipur. Subsequently, I set up a poultry farm with 1,000 birds, and both of these are very successful. So after my graduation and having done my MBA, uh, I wanted to get into business because that, in a sense, was something that I had enjoyed and I had tasted success. But when one was low on funds and high on initiative, one had to look at business which didn't involve too much of capital expenditure. And so I accidentally went into the executive search business. But if I were to reflect back over the last almost 40 years, I think this is exactly the business that I would have got into, if I had a choice all over again. So executive search was what I got into, and at that stage, I sort of envisioned that, there's a lot of excitement. India, is a place that I've always loved. It's a country that, I'm very proud of being a citizen of. And reflecting on all of this, I felt, here was a big opportunity. India with its population and its, high potential people, here was an opportunity to send people, send Indians from here across different parts of the world. And likewise to bring Indians from different parts of the world into India to be able to provide that perspective which didn't exist. So you've had today, if you look at it, new industries, new sectors which have come in, retail has come in, telecom has come in, you've got insurance which has come in, which were, let's say 40 years back, virtually non-existent or existent in a very primitive form through the government of India. Likewise, as I reflect, a lot of the countries in the West, whether it is America or particularly Europe, the populations are in steep decline. And those countries will require talent. Of course, from more recent examples, we would have seen, countries like, or other companies like Google and Microsoft and the world's best companies have taken on Indians to head those. But these are just a few examples. I think there are thousands of more such examples. And if we can get people from those companies and those countries coming back and bringing that perspective and experience into India, it's going to help this country go places.
What are the unique strengths of your company?
So as a company, we've been very strongly result-oriented, and we've been also very strongly people-oriented. In a sense, if you look at it, and we've tried to be very fair to our people. So we've sort of tried to inculcate the entrepreneurial capability within people. So in the sense, we've got good talent, and as compared to other firms in our business, you will find people staying much longer, performing much better, and of course making a big difference to our clients.
What have been the major achievements?
So, as I said, we were India's first executive search firm. So we did things very differently from what most other firms did. In those days, people used to advertise and people used to respond. But what we would do is, find out what were the specific needs of organizations and, what was their vision, what was their mission, what were their values, what were their needs, and reach out to people who mattered, people who could come in and make a difference to the organization. So if I go again, there were so many industries that we tapped into, whether it was the pharma industry or the consumer industry or the automobile industry or the engineering industry. I mean, people typically joined as, in that company and retired in that company. But when we got into, we used to pick up people who had, high potential, identify these high potential people and bring them into higher roles, higher positions in different companies. And I think this cross-pollination that happened was actually, very transformational for the various companies and the various industries. So I do believe that in that sense that we played a big, important role in the growth of industry in India.
How much strong is your brand?
So, I mean, if you look at it, we hardly advertise. At the same time, we are always in demand, and there are clients whom we have retained, right from the time when we started working with them. So, I would imagine that from that point of view, our brand is extremely sound. If you look at companies today, which are huge companies, when we started working with them, they were very small companies. So you have companies like Sun Pharma, you have Piramal's, you have Glenmark, you have Marico, you have Dabur, you have, Mahindra's. I can go on and on. You had, Citibank retail banking business, you had Stanchart, you had. So if one were to keep running through this list, it's a very, very long list. And these are companies which were very small when we started working with them. And obviously, with the support of the leadership talent that we were able to put in place, it allowed the companies to scale up and become the giants that they have become today.
How do you look at the opportunities?
So I think there's a lot of excitement for the opportunities going forward. I think, if India can work with an abundance mentality, train people, as I said, thanks to technology, thanks to AI, thanks to machine learning, and thanks to the fact that we have our population, is a very young population. So there's a lot of opportunity sitting for us as a country. And as I said, given what's happening in the West, in Europe, in America, there's a lot of our talent that can go there and make India great.
What would you like to highlight about your team?
So, our team is a very good team. So we spend a lot of time, selecting the right people, and then of course making them an important part of our growth story. Most of our people, as I said, have stayed with us for a very, very long time, and stability gives a lot of difference. Now of course with my 3 children having come and joined the business, the 3 of them, were in the top of their class, whether it was at Wharton or it was at Michigan, London Business School. So they were the top talent out there, and they worked with some of the best organizations. So they worked as investment bankers with Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, and of course my eldest son worked with the Aditya Birla Group, and then decided to come into this business. So they come with a lot of high talent and potential, and that gives me a lot of hope for the future of this organization.
What is the synergy between different companies started in the niche segment?
So when we started, it was executive search. Personally continues to be my first love, but I also realized that, there was a big opportunity for expanding the role into becoming an HR solutions company, which is what we did. So along the way, we set up a contract staffing company, we set up a, HR technology practice, and I guess along the way we will keep adding to those portfolios from the point of broadening our base. Likewise, what we've done is we've expanded into different locations within the country and into different locations across the world.
How do you foresee the future of your company?
So I'm really excited about the future, and as I said, there are very few companies which have got a good solid past, a good solid present, and of course the future with the three of them coming together as equal partners. I think the future looks exceedingly bright.
Any other important point you would like to share?
No, so as I said, I think the PSS Lobo group of companies has much to offer a lot of its clients, all of its clients, and we look forward to having a much stronger presence in the years ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.